All right. Let's go ahead and get things started real quick. Sorry for being a little late. Had to deal with some dog things. Alright. Make sure that I'm not on mute, because that would devastate me. There we go. Okay. Hope music's not too loud. Hope I am audible. Let's get things started. Alright, guys. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. It is your boy ABK. Thank you for checking out my intraday / day trade setups analysis. I do appreciate y'all. So let's go ahead and get started with the DXY. So DXY did indeed. Let me go over to the daily time frame, see what the daily candle looked like for the past 2 days. So daily time frames showing indeed reversal signs on the US dollar. Rejected off of this rising wedge, this high, rejected off of it, gave a bearish engulfing candle the day after. I am definitely looking for I definitely don't know how I can't try to buy up against this daily candle the way how it closed. Let me get rid of this fib because it didn't play out. But yeah, I can't necessarily get into a buy on the DXY with how this bearish candle closed, right? Although yes, we do have a bearish engulfing candle here, I can't try to go ahead and say that, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and get into buys on the DXY quite yet, right? Although we can see here, let's just go ahead and make this into a regular box. Although we can see here that this is like, it could be somewhat of a break and retest, as price did break out through here. Then it's kind of, it came lower than it, but it could be some type of breakout and retest, and it could also be just, you know, be a retracement down to this zone right here for buys. But just based off of that daily time frame, it's gonna make me very cautious to try to get into this for a buy or anything like that, because again, just based off of how the daily time frame looks like, it looks like this could continue going bullish. But just where it just stopped at, like on the 61.8% right here, just from where where it stopped at, that's something that I'm going to be really watching for. Let me remove this because I don't need it. But overall, like I said, just the way how this thing looks, I'm gonna have to be kind of careful in deciding if I would want to try to trade it or not, you know. So let's see what the DXY has in store for us. Just based off of the trend and how things are going, just based off of the trend and how the trend is moving, you know, this definitely could be the play where price shows rejection at this demand zone and it continues going to the upside, because it is a demand zone, right? Because this is where price ended up started breaking out and going bullish. So this is what I want to see, again, going with the trend, but with the daily time frame and how the daily looks like, it is very, you got to be very cautious. Remember, I would say this could have been the possibility that this was a liquidity grab and price could end up pushing to the downside. That's what the market looks like at this point. But I'm not taking away the possibility of this buy to play out, right? So still watching for this buy overall. For me, it is better to look for buys on the DXY rather than sells, just because of, again, just like it's been bullish, but this could have been a stop put, and then that bearish engulfing candle right next to it. Want to watch out for that. So that's what I have for the DXY, right? Let me go on over to arbitrage real quick. Sorry. 1 hour time frame looks like it wants to potentially set up for the buy. So that's another thing that I'm going to be watching for this morning for this buy to play out. Continuation. So that's what I'm looking at for the DXY on the 1 hour. 4 hour time frame, it just called for a sell. And if it goes bullish, it would still need, if it goes bullish and retraces, it would still be calling for that sell. So that's kind of iffy for me. But again, I'm more bullish on the DXY than I am bearish. Daily time frame is still very much bullish, and weekly time frame, yeah, it's continuing its bull run on the weekly. So This 1 hour time frame is going to be what I'm watching for. Arbitrage users, you would want to place your like buy alerts on the DXY. Like, oops, wrong place. Alert, arbitrage. I'm going to go for the long once per bar close because I want the candle to close before it tells me to get in, and then create. So when that happens, we could be watching for the DXY. Euro USD. Euro USD, I still am watching for it to continue going bullish. It's just like with the DXY, the opposite. I don't even know why on Sunday why I drew the fib like that. I should have just did the high and the low like how I usually would. But with Euro USD, I still want price to come into 1.17629 so that I can get a possible sell entry, you know, create that alert at that zone right up there. It's been moving good so far. Just need it to really, like I said, just keep pushing to the upside. It barely rejected off of the 61.8. I wanted to hit 1.17636 before I look to jump into any type of sells on this, right? So like I said, it's the exact opposite of the DXY, where I want to see the DXY come to 92.837 and then go bullish. It's been rejecting barely at the 61.8. Opposite of Euro USD, I wanted it to reject off of here, then continue going bearish. So I'm still holding that. Nothing's really changed for me. Daily time frame, if I go take a look at it, let me take off my drawings. And daily time frame, same thing. The bearish engulfing candle is what's gonna worry me at the end of the day. But this has been making lower highs and lower lows. So I want this this made a lower low right here. So I want this to continue to make a lower low as well. So yeah, EU still waiting for that bearish move. It looks like it's setting up on the 1 hour time frame. I'm not sure if I have an alert set for this. I don't think I do. EU. No, I don't. So I'm gonna set this short opportunity up. Euro USD arbitrage short once per candle close create. And so what I would want to see on Euro USD, the usual break, retest, continuation. And remember guys, like I said on Sunday, I was only watching for that retracement to happen, but I am overall looking for the sells on EU. Okay, so let's go on over to AUD USD. AUD USD went to work with this bullish move. I never got the chance to get in because I never got my retracement. It's okay. And with AUD USD, although yes, this is a possibility for price to just stop right here. Although it's gone a little bit higher than the 78.6, I'd definitely rather just have my fib stay the same. I'm still looking for 0.73019 for a potential buy on AUD USD. But again, it's just like with the dollar. Like the daily candle looks like a morning star pattern right here. That price could potentially start to go bullish, but I'm not feeling the buys overall because again, this is making lower lows as well. And I can be stubborn and try to trade against this, or I can go with the trend, you know? So right now, 4 hour time frame, like I mentioned, 0.7300 is where I'd be looking for a sell entry on AUD USD. I'm not in any rush to try to trade AUD USD. So let's see what happens. I have my alert set. It's going over to arbitrage. 1 hour time frame played out. The 4 hour is currently about to call for a buy, but again, this type of play right here, I'm going to be very questionable about it. You know, be very questionable about it. Daily time frame, very bearish. Weekly time frame, I mean, it's been calling for itself for weeks now. So when it comes to AUD USD, I'm just going to be watching for it, but I'm not necessarily like actively trying to get into anything on it. It's not the best pair for me, right? UCHF, my guy UCHF, daily time frame, same thing guys. These candlesticks are not telling me that this price wants to continue going bullish, right? That's not necessarily what I'm getting. That's not the vibe that I'm feeling off of these pairs. And even where price rejected from to go bearish, it was off of the 61.8 of this drop. Well, no, 71%, right? So if the price doesn't reject to where it's currently at right now, I do expect it to fall lower. Like, I do definitely expect it to keep falling. And you know, even if it does, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because let's just take my fib from this bullish move, and you know, this could be just a retracement that it's doing right now. And if that's what it is, it can still definitely come down to 0.90828, 0.90657, the likes of that, right? However, I do like where price is currently at. I do like where price is currently rejecting. If it still holds over here, which I don't think it is at this point, it kind of doesn't look like it to me. If it holds at this point, then yeah, you could take it bullish for sure. But I'm probably gonna end up waiting for this kind of pricing for me to have a higher chance of not getting stopped out. You know, so have my alert set on UCHF. Want to get to come down, make another let's make one more leg to the downside, 0.90834. And again, this is a possible place where you can look for buys, like, because if I'm not mistaken, I have my, was it here? I think it was here that I had the fibs at. And I did have an alert set for down over here. But again, just the way how price looks, I'd rather just keep my fib down over here. 0.90834 looks like a much better entry for me for a potential buy on UCHF rather than on where price is at right now. Because it just looks like prices might make another push to the downside. Weekly time frame on arbitrage, the bands are starting to squeeze down, and price is still rejecting off of this mean line. So I don't like necessarily seeing that for buy opportunities. Daily time frame has came under the lower danger, the RSI line as well. So again, not signs that I want to see when I'm trying to buy UCHF. 4-hour time frame just called for a sell. So again, these aren't things that I want to see when I'm trying to buy UCHF. However, the 1 hour looks like it's setting up, but it looks like this is going to just, again, make another leg to the downside. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait for 0.90834. And then once I get that, then I'll see what the market looks like for a potential buy opportunity. So UCHF, arbitrage, going to set it up for a long possibility once per bar close, but that won't happen until, like, we really get, like, this type of move. And then once we get that, we'll get the buy, retest, continuation. So that's what I'm looking at for UCHF. These indices, they've been consolidating all day. But as I mentioned, when price dropped, like when I said that, oh, price just looks like it's going to keep going to the upside, I still stand by that. It still looks like price is just going to keep going bullish on the S&P, and Dow Jones, very much so. I believe it's going to follow, you know. I think it's just going to keep going bullish to the upside. So nothing really on the US indices, not trading them like that. USDMXN, as I mentioned, I am feeling somewhat, why are these here? Or hold on, actually, I think I know why. It's a daily time frame. Weekly? Whatever. But with the USDMXN, it's been consolidating up at this sell zone that I had drawn out, which is exactly another reason why I'm saying I'm kind of not really feeling the sells on the buys on USDMXN, not quite yet. I do know that price could reject from here, but I'm watching it, you know. If price does indeed continue falling, then yeah, I still will have the same patience. It looks like it's going to sell type of vibe. But if it goes bullish and breaks this high, I'm waiting for the retest, and then I'm really looking for buys on USDMXN. Going over to arbitrage, it's called for the sell up here. It's the retest. It's over the RSI line, so It could possibly be going for a buy shortly, but it would have to break through this upper danger zone for me to feel that way. So 4-hour time frame, bullish, been called for a buy, so that's good. Daily time frame being called for the buy, that's good. Weekly time frame, it looks like this might want to start buying, just based off of how the weekly closed with that bullish engulfing. But we're gonna have to wait and see what USD Mexican has to offer right where it's at, because again, in this area I'm kind of fearful of trying to buy. I'll be more looking for sells than anything. All right, let's take a look at Goldilocks. So Goldilocks currently at 1805. And guys, remember, like I said, based off of how this weekly candle, based off of how the weekly closed a couple weeks ago, this looks like price might continue going bullish, right? Just because of how this ended up closing, leaving that long wick. Look what happened when price left the long wick last time, went bullish. So definitely gold sells are suspect right now. I did still have my entry at 1798, and I'm still in that trade. I'm like in the sell, currently down, but you know, watching to see what it does currently at this resistance, this minor resistance that it's at. It looks like it's gonna keep going bullish personally. So if you are in this trade at 1798, I would suggest for you to get out the trade for the short term and wait for better price action, or wait for price to actually make a breakout to the downside retest and then continue or something like that. But from this, what I'm seeing, it looks like prices, like gold is going to continue going bullish, in my opinion. But I don't have a buy entry on it, so I have to stick with like what I have for the sell, you know? Unless price does something like this, where it drops down and then comes to like 1731 or 1722, then I'll look for the buys on gold for me to continue to get into the upside. 1 hour time frame, it does look like it's a bull flag right here. It does look like it's in like a small bull flag. So whichever way breaks out, which looks like it's gonna break out to the upside, then yeah, you can trade that. But again, me personally speaking, if I were you, I would definitely, like, if price breaks out to the upside, like if it goes to like 1807 or 1808 or anything like that, then I would probably get out the trade and I would wait for price action to tell me otherwise. Because again, this just looks like it's gonna go bullish, and off of this 1 hour like flag that we have here, if it drops down, then rejects to the upside one more time, then I think it's going to keep going bullish. So I'm going to have to wait and see what's up. But you get three white soldiers. It looks like price is going to keep going bullish again. So, oh, let me go on to arbitrage. Sorry. Weekly time frame, it looks like, yeah, this weekly is just really confusing. But again, with that, the way how that one weekly candle left that wick, it just looks like price is going to go bullish. Daily time frame on arbitrage looks like it might call for a buy shortly. Watching. 4 hour time frame called for a buy right here, then kept going bullish. Then the 1 hour, yeah, it looks like it's trying to set up for a buy, but it's just like with the other USD pairs. It's like the alert, I'm going to set it, if anything, to try to get into the trade, but not trying to get in right now. Shorts, once per bar close, creates. Okay, let's go look at Bitcoin. So I had mentioned, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that one more time. So I had mentioned the fear and greed index yesterday and what it was looking like. So let's go ahead and go over here and take a look at it. Right now, extreme greed in the market, it's at a 79. If we look at last month and even the months prior, and like a couple months ago, I was looking at this like almost every week. The fear was low. The fear was like at 27. The fear was at 22. The fear was at like 20 or something like that. The fear that was in the crypto markets was extreme, right? There was a lot of fear in the market when the cryptos were down Let me go over here real quick. When like the likes of Bitcoin and them were down at like down over here at like 28,000, 30,000, nobody was interested in buying the cryptos, right? Because there was extreme fear in the market. That's when, in the crypto markets, when there's fear in the markets, you want to be buying, and then when there's greed in the markets, you want to be selling. Because as the greed index is starting to go higher, 79, I wish I can go back and look at. In fact, here, look, crypto. This is what the greed index was on. I'm trying to see. Let me go to the 1 month. Or every 3 months. There we go. So the greed index hasn't been this high in a while. It's at a 79. Back in I'm really trying to find it where it was before the crash happened. So May. So look, back in February was where the fear and greed index was at its highest. Like even in December, it was all in the 90s, and you see once it gets to the 90s, what usually happens, it ends up dropping. So it's retraced back up to 79, 80, so you really want to watch out. But once it gets to that 90, that 80, 89, 90 range, you want to really be careful, because that's when most likely you are going to get some turnarounds in these cryptos, especially since it's coming to this major supply zone that I've been talking about. I'm still watching for this supply zone, guys. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy or anything like that, but this supply zone is a huge supply zone, and we have to be very much careful with the upcoming to 52,000, 55,000, those prices that you definitely want to watch if you got into these cryptos at these lows, like margin, not margin, but like you actually like on the exchange you bought cryptos or anything like that. You definitely want to look to see if you want to take profits. You don't want to just be like, oh, I'm a moon boy or a moon girl, Bitcoin's to the moon and stuff like that. You want to make that decision. You want to see what price is looking like, to make that conscious decision of, yo, I should probably get out of this trade. Let's go look at Bitcoin. I know that 1 hour is looking pretty sloppy because it's consolidating. 4 hour time frame is still very much bullish. Daily time frame is just chilling right there at the second deviation. And the weekly time frame, it's above the RSI line. So there's a lot of signs that are showing that, hey, this can continue going bullish. But again, just based off of this supply zone right here that our price is at, I cannot in good faith say that I'm looking for buys up here. There's absolutely no ways that if I wasn't trying to get into the cryptos down here at 29,000 or 30,000, why would I be trying to buy them at 50,000? You know, so for Bitcoin. Not the cryptos, for Bitcoin. So same thing applies to Ripple. Like this ended up still playing out, and it's still like consolidating up in this zone. But again, once it comes to this supply zone, it's just like with Bitcoin, right? Once it comes to the supply zone, that's when I'm going to be the most fearful. That's when I'm going to be the most fearful of of Ripple, because if it comes to this supply zone, that's when I'm going to be like, okay, am I going to take out some profits so that I can say that, yes, I've made profits off of this, and I'm not saying that, oh, just Ripple to the moon and et cetera, et cetera. The volume isn't necessarily there. So again, just being careful there, in my opinion. That's just the best way to play these cryptos, is just be careful with them. If it does break out to these highs, you could get into like a buy stop trade, but yeah. And even if you're looking at this from the opposite point of view, although like it's whatever to look at it this way, in my opinion. No, I mean, as of right now, it's kind of whatever to look at it this way. But what happens if price just literally is just holding right here, then it ends up dropping? and then goes down to 86 cents. You know, like all that exists, but I don't want it to sell from here. I'd rather it sell from up here. So just waiting it out on the cryptos, not trying to make any moves on them quite yet, because, well, I don't have any moves to go off on right now. Daily time frames, take a look. Very much bullish. 4-hour time frame, still bullish, still holding up over here. And the 1-hour time frame, I'm not even going to look at it because price has been consolidating, and so it's just going to look sloppy. And Ethereum, yeah, guys, Ethereum has already started flirting with the supply zone up over here. I still want it to come up to like 3,600 before I start to really say that, okay, this is good, looks like it's going to go bearish. But yeah, it's already been interacting with the supply zone here. Again, I can't ignore it. The dominance of Bitcoin currently is 44% of the crypto market. It's pretty down right now. This is just the market cap for Bitcoin dominance. It's over here at this. It's over here at the 71% from its previous high when it came to 73.96. So let's see what it does down at these fib zones. And then Ethereum is currently at 18%, 18.44%. So it's pretty high compared to what it was a couple months ago. But the highest that Ethereum dominance has been, and this is based off of CryptoCap, is that 2017 it was at 30%. Cryptocurrency dominance, where right now it's at 18%. So just showing what the Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance was looking like as well. But again, this supply zone, I cannot act like it's not an important supply zone, so I'm being very patient with these cryptos. GBP USD, what's going on? So GBP/USD, I had mentioned about this 1-hour buy here because this is what I was playing off of. It left a wick to the downside, but it didn't set my alert off, so I wasn't able to get into this buy trade for GBP/USD. But just based off of the daily, it kind of looks like a morning star. It looks like price might want to start doing like a reversal of some sort or retracement of some sort. And hypothetically, we could say that, okay, yes, from that high to this low, which price is making higher highs and higher lows, that price could be rejecting off of this zone to continue going bearish. But like, the way how price climbed up here pretty fast. And you guys know what Peyton usually says, like when price usually climbs up that fast, he gets a little bit concerned about trying to trade it. He gets a little concerned about trying to get into it because at that point, kind of looks like this is gonna continue going bullish to him, right? However, let's go ahead and get rid of that fib. Let's go look at smaller time frames. We can see that price did look like it wanted to do a stop and then ended up dropping. So from this drop, this retracement came to the 71% and then ended up dropping pretty nicely. So price can still end up turning around and falling here, but based off of, like I said, just based off of the speed in which price got up here, I would kind of expect for it to continue going bullish. Although it is rejecting off of the 4-hour, and the 4-hour has been holding pretty well, so that's something that you also want to pay attention to as well. So, but overall, GU, the buy that I was looking for, it played out, but I kind of want to see if this is going to continue falling. That's actually what I think is going to do, is going to continue falling from, because, I mean, like I said, once it hit this 71% up here, it has not looked back. Really, it has not looked back. It has just been bearish. So let's see what we have for GU on arbitrage. The 4-hour time frame is not necessarily there yet calling for the buy, but it can call for it shortly. Daily time frame definitely bearish, and the weekly time frame is definitely called for that sell. But again, I wanted to see this retracement up over here at 1.3244, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. And again, this is called for the sell, so I am definitely leaning towards the sell more than the buy. So let's see what happens on GU. Remember, it could literally just fall from where it's at right here. I don't think it is, but it could literally just like start falling from where it's at. GBP AUD, of course, has been bearish. All right, daily time frame, GBP AUD respected this zone up here and rejected to the downside. Daily time frame looks like it doesn't necessarily want to keep going up. It left 2 wicks pointing to the upside on this zone, and then a bearish engulfing candle. And depending on how today closes, we're gonna have another bearish engulfing candle, right? It could be a break and retest of this zone that it just broke off of, and it could be also, you know, trying to just come to this fib zone and then go bullish. But I'm not trying to trade GA anything right now. It's way more bullish than it is bearish, but I do know that this possibility does exist where price can just legit retrace back to the upside and then continue falling to come to like the 61.8 extension or something like that. So gonna be watching to see what GA does. I'm not necessarily trying to trade it or anything like that, just watching it. I don't know why that's green. I have not gone into a GA trade since like about, what, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Bullish across the board except for the 1 hour time frame where it had called this sell, and this sell played out nicely. Yeesh. This sell played out very nice. 4 hour time frame might be calling for a sell, which would then be something like this I'd watch for. So yeah, that's on GA. GBP JPY, same thing as with GJ, except that it didn't give me an entry. It just ended up going bullish, you know. I expect it to continue going bullish. It doesn't look like it wants to go bearish here. I don't know why it came to a 30-minute over here. 1 hour time frame on 4 hour time frame on arbitrage does kind of look like it might want to go bullish. So you might want to watch for any sells you're getting into on GJ. But same thing with GU. Price is rejecting off of the 50 EMA. If you put the fib out, you can see that it's literally at a fib zone where price can literally fall at. So I am actually pretty bearish on GJ's been making lower highs and lower lows on the lower time frames, and it does look like it really wants to like finally go bearish. You know, it came up to this zone, rejected off of these equal highs over here, fell, retraced, continued to the downside. I won't be surprised. That's most likely what will be playing out. But honestly speaking, you know, if I was trading this and I was in at 150.752, then for sure I'd try to get in. I mean, for sure I'd be in. So what I would do is smaller time frame, I would look for that fib back up to 150.752, and if I can get that entry once again, I'm most likely going to try to get into the sell. No cap. So GJ over here, set an alert, and there we go. So I have my alert set at 150.750. Gonna see what that does. But GJ 4 hour time frame, it does look like it wants to go bullish again, but it hasn't been called. Nothing's confirmed. The only thing that's confirmed is it's above the RSI line, upper danger zone, and compass line. So with that being said, just be patient, and I'm going to watch what happens. Daily time frame is extremely bearish, and the weekly time frame, it's getting there. You know, it's at this upper danger zone on the weekly. It's getting there. It's not quite there yet. So 150.750 is where I'm going to be looking at for sells. If I get that, then I'm in there like swimwear. All right, and Euro GBP rejected off of the 61.8 zone that I had mentioned. I was really just looking for EG and seeing how far it was going to retrace before it was going to continue going bullish. I personally thought that like something in the likes of so from this bullish move right here, the retracement, like back in this area, 0.85300, that'd be where I'd be looking to buy at or something like that. But other than that, I'm bullish on EG, like how I'm bearish on the other GB pairs. 1 week, it looks like it was starting to set up for a buy. Let's go into the 4-hour time frame. I don't know what I did there. Okay. 4-hour time frame looks like it was trying to set up for a buy, but it's not going to play out. And the 1-hour time frame, I was talking about this sell. I talked about it with those who are on Next Wave, and so I got into this. I'm probably going to end up taking my profits because I don't think that, but this 39 pips is going to hit. So yeah, with EG, I definitely do like this current price action. It shows that it might want to keep falling, just like how with the GBPs, it looks like they might want to keep rising a little more. So with that being said, just, you know, I'm just being patient with these GBPs. I don't have anything that I'm really trying to get into except for with these USD pairs. I really want them to activate, or I have my alerts set. You know, I have all my alerts set. I'm not jumping into anything right now. There's nothing in here for me to jump into, unless if in the chat there's something that somebody wants me to look at. But there's really not anything that I want to get into at this point in time with these pairs. So if there's nothing else, then I'm gonna go ahead and take my leave. All right, well, with that being said, I think there's not really much anybody wants to take a look at or anybody wants me to go over. So with that being said, thanks guys for hopping on. I do appreciate it. If you do have any questions, you can go ahead and hit me up in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And with that being said, thanks y'all for checking out Next Wave Intraday / JTrade Setups. It's your boy ABK. Please, if you gain some value from this, like, subscribe, comment on anything or anything like that, you know. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages at Trade the Next Wave. And thanks y'all for checking this out. Y'all stay blessed.